Welcome to this channel. This channel is for education and culture based on historical and scientific evidence. So today I'd like to share with you on the relationship of JIguang, Taiji, Interna, Taoist, all this Jing stuff, and the Interna Wing Chun stuff. So with what I am sharing with you today in this video, you can completely clear the entire thing up. We do need to clear all this thing, or else it is a mess. So what I'm going to share with you, of course, it have to be based on evidence, not just, I talk my opinion, my interpretation, but evidence. Now, the reason why I'm sharing with you on this topic today is because many of our friends is reading the Decoding Wing Chun, and many questions come up because many of our friends found out that thing is not as simple as what people think today when you look into Wing Chun or in Chinese Kung Fu. Things are pretty complex. So many people start to asking me, so why is it right now the JIguang you mentioned and the Taiji, it seems that it belongs to two worlds. So what is the authentic Chinese martial arts? So that's the reason why I want to share with you all this today. So everybody here on clear completely, and you know what you get into. This book is a tools. It's an analytical tools. With the content in this book, it's like a toolbox. You'll be able to analyze. You'll be able to know clearly what is going on in all this Chinese Kung Fu stuff. Disregard how people call it external, internal, chi, whatever. Okay, so this is the tool, this is the basic, the fundamental. Nothing get out from here, from this basic. There's a reason why this is a very important tool in this era and the era to come. Okay. Now, so this is purposely to make it a new beginning in the West, especially with us in America. We need to know what is going on, or else it is really, we don't know what we get into. And we don't know what is the scientific equivalent. Okay, now let's look into the Taiji, the JIguang, so forth. Okay. Now the Chinese know the problem, know the technical issue since 100 years ago, namely around 1930. The issue is Taiji is like Wing Chun today, is a marketing. And it involved in a lot of money and a lot of fame. Thus, in Asia, in China, because it deals with the fame and money, many voices you will never heard due to people take this thing take the story as a religion. And so they will not clear up things. And actually, they don't want to clear up things. Okay? But we in America cannot afford that. Okay? So we need to look into things really clearly. And so in this decoding Wing Chun, we know that we can model the entire traditional Chinese martial art into 3 types of training: chi nourishing training, the fitness training, the strengthening training. You want fighting, you better have the strengthening training. For fitness is fitness. For the chi and you want to get into meditation and whatever, you need the nurture chi or chi nourishing training. That is the bottom line. Okay, and scientifically we know what it is today. We can actually map into. Now let's look into this JIguang, Taiji, and what is going on there. So to be exact, 100 years ago, 1930s. At that time, the Chinese martial art historian Tang Hao have made investigations on Taijichuan. Okay. So what they found out is the JIguang have 32 momentum. So if you have my book, there are 32 momentum here. There are 32 momentum here. Okay? Now, so hundreds of years, what they found out is Chun Taiji, Chun family Taiji. Okay? It took 29 of that 32 momentum. It took 29 of the 32 momentum to create Chun Taiji. So 100 years ago, people know about this technical stuff. And then the Yang Taiji, Yang family Taiji, which is based on the Chun Taiji, start to saying that, oh, Taiji is belong to the Taoist Zhang Feng of the Song dynasty or Ming dynasty. And then in the Qing dynasty, there is somebody called Wang Zhongye, who is talking about this Jing, okay, all this Jing and so forth. Other people is just have the momentum. We have this Jing, it becomes superior, invincible, all those kind of things. Okay, so that's what happened. Does people know? Sure. 100 years ago, people know. And then, due to fame and money, then many people get into this defensive argument on the Yang Taiji, blah, blah, blah. Okay? And at that time, the researcher is focused on the Tai Chi history and the witness and who say what, but not into the technical content, how this content evolved. Okay, and of course, these people here in 100 years ago, like Tang Hao, they look into the content. And when people argue, they're going to argue about, oh, my sifu is this, that, whatever. And guess what? It is known that the young Taiji actually evolve the thing they learn from the Chun Taiji, the Chun family Taiji, make it into a fitness training type. Okay, so it actually remove like the strength training, the endurance training, the speed requirement of, say, the Chun Taiji. Okay, so the entire thing is you have this JIguang, as in this book. The Chun Taiji guy took 29 of them to form the Chun Taiji. And then the young Taiji guy took the thing from the Chun Taiji. And young Taiji do not credit the JIguang and whoever here the Chun Taiji used to create Chun Taiji, but start their own Taoist, Qi, Interna, whatever heck. In the same time, the young Taiji is evolved into a fitness training type. So it's very clear now with this Wing Chun decoding. JIguang, if you want to fight, you better have the strengthening training. You better have that. Chun Taiji adopt that. Yang Taiji evolve it downward to fitness training type. Okay? And using this Taoist stuff, like originate from the Taoist San Feng, those stuff. So all the Taoist, Qi, Jing, and whatever, that's what happened. Now, I want to share with you on the strengthening training. Okay? It is a must. If you look into the JIguang's 32 momentum, say for example, this is one of the momentum. You see it have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 types of movement, 5 types of combination. You see this? Which is this? Momentum. It execute 1, 2, 3, 4. And then if something go wrong, it turn into this when the enemy suddenly crush in. Okay? It turn into this. So if these executions cannot go fluently because the opponent right away break the rhythm, break the execution, then it do different thing to adopt to handle the opponent. Now, past few video I'm sharing about the breathing in the strengthening training, where you have to manage your breathing. So in fighting, so I tell everybody, like as in this book, in the strengthening training, the breathing is not natural, it's man-made. You see, you have to manage your breathing here. And suddenly, if your opponent strike you, you need to be able to take blow, you have to receive things. So you need those breathing. Now, so the JIguang have this, Chun Taiji have this, the Yang Taiji is degrading that level of intensity of the strengthening training, coming down to there and talk about Xing Qi to Dan Tian, play it slowly and so forth. And so does the Chinese know? Sure, the Chinese know that. Okay, or so he said that this is for the real fight, you need the strength, the endurance, the speed. But when you evolve into the public fitness, then you remove those things. You degrade that strengthening training down. Okay, now. So that's what happened. JIguang here, Chun Taiji here. Chun Taiji still follow what JIguang here for fighting. The Yang Taiji come, and then he just study what the JIguang start up, the Chun family Taiji. But it degrade things, and then it create another new origin, saying that this is from Taoist, blah, blah, blah. Chun Taiji didn't say that. Okay? Technically, you can see the entire thing. So, what is Interna? In the real traditional Chinese martial art, there's no such thing as Interna. Those internal things are made up later. Okay, put in qi and all those kind of things. But guess what? Hey man, you guys taking JIguang momentum. You don't credit that. You say this is from Taoist, that is from Taoist, this is Qi, this is much better, superior than anybody, and you don't even have the strengthening training for your endurance and your speed and your power. Now, Taiji is like a marketing. The Yang Taiji stuff is like a marketing decades ago. Like the movie, Wing Chun movie today. So people later in southern China, in Hong Kong, took those whatever the Yang Taiji propaganda as real. That is why the mind power, the Fa Jing come in the real JIguang in the fighting is like that. It is speed, power, momentum, and combination. It never is, I can stick at him, I'll stick at him, and I can change this. It never is that. It never is that I have a mind power, I can control my body, blah, blah, blah. It never is like that. As soon as you are in fighting, those Qi stuff, as I explained in Decoding Wing Chun, it is a good base for fitness. It is a good base to handle your body, for health, to train your body. But when you want to get to the strengthening training, is the different stuff. So as in Decoding Wing Chun, we are using Western science, medical science and sports science to verify what the ancient Chinese do. We are really clear now. So that's why this book is a tool. If you want to talk about such, you better have this. If you don't have this, that means you're making empty claim. Okay. So does Wing Chun have any Interna or this and that? Well, Interna is their creation. This young Taiji people creation and so forth, so forth. That's what it is. Marketing. Now, if the Taiji people, like the young Taiji, want to evolve their art into fitness, there's their freedom. We respect that. But if you call that thing which is for fitness, that's martial art for fighting, and you want to face MMA, you think 10 times, okay? So, same in Wing Chun. If you don't train in that combination, that breathing management, the core handling, you just look at this. This is from ground up and get close. If the core is not handling properly, do you think they can drive this thing? Same thing. From here, from strike to take down, or to change it into a lock, joint lock. If you don't have the breathing, you don't have the core stability, can you do that? Can you keep practicing your sets? Got nothing to do with that, which is belong to the fitness level, and you, voila, magic happen, and you develop that. What you know is impossible. Right? Now, as I shared with you just now, hundreds of years ago, the Chinese know, but because it involves so much money and so much fame, truth is pushed down, power up. Okay? Today in America, what I'm doing here is, we know what the Chinese know. The Chinese are not morons. They are good, a lot of good people. We took that result. We use our Western science and medical science. We analyze it, and we can prove what does Chinese know 100 years ago is proper, because it fit into our science. And also because you see that, you see marketing, you see fake stuff, you see empty claim, like internal this. I have fudging. What the heck is fudging got to do? Because your entire system is just for fitness. So how can that fighting for combination? That's why when you get hop into the MMA ring, you all collapse. In fact, you don't even know how to breathe. In fact, I question people this day. I say, so okay, you're internal. Many people talk about internal with me in Asia. I say, so what is your VO2 max? And many people say, hey, you know, this is internal, blah blah blah. You guys Westerner, there's all kinds of stuff, all kind of reason. I say, come on. As soon as you are a human, your activity is determined by your cardio fitness or your VO2 max. So don't give me all this bull. If you don't train that, how can you go fight? Forget about it, okay? Let me show you. If you don't have the VO2 max train, you don't develop it. How can you, in action, you want to teach some kids the slow, the soft, like in a movie, and then you say that she or him can defend himself in the street, or this is for street fighting. Boy, you never see it yet. That's why it never works. And yet, as what I just shared with you on this, this is one of the JIguang combination. You need your VO2 max. You need to manage your breathing just to do this. And you see the fighting is the different level, different distance, different angle, different range. That is a real traditional Chinese martial arts. So it is better to keep everybody honest. Are you trained in here? Are you trained in here? Or are you trained in here? Let's be honest. Now scientifically we can prove. Okay? If you train in here, don't say you have the Qi nourishing training. If you train in Qi nourishing training like Zhuang, meditation, don't tell people that you'll be able to fight because you never trained that way. So this is what I like to share with you. It is this crystal clear now. Okay? And we need to know what we get into. We do not want to be another snake oil seller. Say if we practice something which is not proper, we are the victims because somebody tell us that and then we take it, we are the victims. Now we know, we change it. There's no obligations you going to have to protect your lineage. You are the victims. You know that is wrong. Why do you going to protect it, market that thing to make other people victims? And you know all this thing never works when you face MMA. It never works. And even when you face fitness, it never works. Why? The fitness alone here, there are three levels, three different intensity. The strengthening training here have two levels of intensity. Even in the Qi nourishing training have two different types of breathing, meaning two levels. It is such a really in-depth stuff. Why don't people just really go study it and be the real master on this thing instead of you're the victim, you make another people victim. When you do that, because of what? Again, as the Chinese, 100 years of cover up the truth because it is money and fame. Well, so as we know today, Xi Xiaodong actually have guts. Xi Xiaodong is actually do a good thing for the traditional Chinese martial art to everybody, including Wing Chun. Xi Xiaodong let you know what do you really have. Now, what does? You know, traditional Chinese martial art is real deal and is even really comprehensive. The issue is if we don't train that, we don't study it properly, of course, we are not going to be able to know. But you cannot hide everything you don't know behind the terms, I'm internal, you are external. I have this jing, fa jing, and because of this jing, fa jing, I can beat everybody on street. This is how many times people say Wing Chun is for street fighting? Are you serious? Do you know how those MMA people train? Do you know how all those JIguang's army train with this strengthening training? How is that supposed to be in a fight in the street? You need to be clear. The training to fight box in the village is really different than the training of the special force when they go in and clean the entire thing for the operations. JIguang is that. Special force training, okay? Today's MMA is a type of special force training, but make it a sport. So nobody need to get seriously injured, right? I mean, come on, this is a democratic world, right? Now, can your village training without knowing your core stability, your breathing, your endurance, your momentum, their combination, go fighting with those who train at like a special force? You must be kidding. So to sum everything, why is all this mess in China? Money and fame cover up the truth. End up who screw? The people screw, the Chinese culture screw, everybody screw. For what? For somebody's personal interest. In America, we cannot do that. We must not do that, because that put our people in danger. As what I said, you want to teach your daughter, your aunt, your mom for self-defense, where you know technically we can prove that it never works. You want to do that? And the same with fitness. Don't keeping talking about chi, and this and that. Show me your VO2 max. If you have a so strong, so fit of your body. Because your cardio fitness or the VO2 max, even in the Apple Watch nowadays you have it, is for what? To show that you are fit or you are not fit. So you say, I have this chi, I have this internal art. Show me your VO2 max. Now you want to show fighting, show me your core stability. Show me your breathing management. Until you got that, you don't have the engine of a car. And stop talking about racing. You don't even know what is the car's engine's requirement. How are you going to race? So this is to share with everybody, okay? So everybody is free to do whatever they want, but as what I say again and again, this channel is for education. There's no God here, but based on evidence and science. What is the notion? The notion is so that everybody is educated. You know what you get into. You know what you're supposed to train. You know what you're not supposed to train. You know what you can expect in your training. Enough on all those marketing, Wing Chun movie and all this stuff. How can anybody be grandmaster if they won't even be able to tell about the basic?